Hello friends, this is Angelica. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you all so much for watching my two previous videos, for sending me kind messages and words of encouragement. It really means a lot to me and I'm very grateful to all of you. Thank you. This week I would like to talk to you about savings. I first started saving money when I got my first job and I was 17, and I've been saving ever since. Now, in the beginning, I was making close to nothing, so my savings weren't big, but savings compound, especially if you invest them. And now my investments make me quite a bit of money. And so my goal in this video is to encourage you with this video to save more and invest smart. And I will share with you some very easy steps and tips that have even helped some of my friends to save more money. So let's get started. And the first step in this process is to track your expenses. Now, I know that there are 1 million applications out there that can do it automatically for you, but I encourage and challenge you to do it manually, because we usually don't spend physical money. We pay for everything with our card. So we don't really have that sense of how much money we're spending, because it's just one click on Amazon, or it's just swiping your card. So there's no physical sensation of how much money you're spending. So in order to fight that, try to create an Excel spreadsheet, a very simple one, and track your expenses there. And track them in categories. Now, if I figure out how to edit this video, I will show you my categories somewhere here or here on the screen. I don't know, I'm not that good at editing yet, but make sure that your categories reflect your life. It can be something like bills and utilities and rent, clothing, groceries, eating out, subscriptions, and so on and so forth. Be as creative as you'd like. And then at the end of every day or at the end of every week, go to your online banking application and categorize all your expenses and write them down in your Excel spreadsheet. That would be step number one. Do this for a month and don't aim to spend less. The goal in this exercise is just to get a realistic idea about how much you're spending and what you're spending your money on. Step number two would be to analyze the data that you would gather at the end of this first month or even first week, however you want to do it. But I recommend to do this at least for a month, and try to see what you're spending your money on and which are the categories where you spend more money than you would actually want to. And once you figure that out, try to set realistic limits of how much money you would actually like to spend in those categories. But, be realistic. And once you decide that, try to think, and this is very important, of lifestyle changes that you're going to make to, stay in those limits. Because if you spend $100 at Starbucks and then you say, oh, this month I'm going to spend only 10, you're not creating a system. How are you not going to do that? So instead, what I recommend is to create a system and lifestyle changes. For example, if you buy coffee every morning from Starbucks, you can say, okay, I will buy a coffee machine and I will buy my favorite Starbucks coffee from the store and I will make it at home. And that would be, a plan. Or if you spend too much money on clothing, you can instead watch some minimalist videos on YouTube, learn about capsule wardrobes, create an inventory of all the clothes that you have, and see what you're going to keep, what you're going to donate, and have a plan for your wardrobe. Or if you spend a lot of money on Uber, maybe you want to buy a bike instead of saying that you're just going to spend less. So make sure that you have a plan to stay in that limit and you're not just restricting yourself with a number, because that definitely won't work. Now, after doing this, step number 3 would be the opposite, which are the categories where you would like to spend. For example, for me, these are presents, because that's my love language and I love giving gifts and I don't want to save on gifts. And stationery, because I love stationery. I know there are cheaper options for, notebooks and pens, but I want to spend money on this category because I use all the stationery that I buy and it brings me a lot of joy. So choose which the categories which will be the categories for you where you want to spend money, and also how much money you want to spend, because you don't want to go overboard, but give yourself more freedom here. And the next step would be to pay yourself first. And by saying this, I mean that now you know how much money you're making, how much money you're spending, and what limits you have set for yourself, and decide how much money you want to save every month. And when you get your paycheck, pay yourself first. So immediately transfer that money to your savings account, or if you can hold yourself accountable, maybe give it to your mom or put it under your pillow. I don't know, make that money available for you. Pay yourself first before you start spending it on all kinds of other stuff. Just put it somewhere else and forget about it for the time being. And the last piece of advice that I actually read about in Atomic Habits last week, and I think it's absolutely genius, is it's to make this habit satisfying instead of, what did I write? Depriving. Yeah. So what this means is, for example, if you're trying to save money for a trip to Europe, and the category where you're trying to spend less money is Starbucks. And let's say you're passing by Starbucks and you really want to stop and buy coffee, but you're also thinking, oh, but I really want to go to Europe. How much is your coffee? $5? At that moment, send $5 to your savings account. So it will give you a feeling of satisfaction because you're following your plan, and it will make it feel less depriving. I think this is a wonderful idea. I love that book. I recommend it to everyone watching this video. I'm sure you will love it too. And yeah, I guess that's it. This is all my advice for saving more money and saving consistently, hopefully. Please let me know in the comments below, what are your tips for saving and investing more? And let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you next week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.